Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I'm back again with some more private stock wallets, and everything that we're going to look at is available on our private stock page of the website ashlandleather.com right now. And let's start off here with some Johnny the Foxes. This is an incredible piece of marbled black shell cordovan with the contrast style that I like. I like a really dramatic contrast from that orangey tan sort of natural shade down to more of these greenish colors, which is how the black shell cordovan sort of marbles off. There's a little bit of green tint to the black stain that Horween uses. On the inside of this one, we have reverse black shell cordovan that pairs very nicely. And each of these wallets are going to have their own unique product pages, so we'll be able to differentiate and get you the exact wallet that you see in the photos. Here's another piece of marbled black shell cordovan, a little bit more of a subtle contrast on this particular shell, which is very beautiful also. Here's a look at the inside, more reverse black shell cordovan. And here's the last of the marbled black shell cordovan, another Giant the Fox here, a little bit more of a funky look on this piece of shell. And as I spin it around, you'll notice that the color range sort of changes a bit. Gets a little bit lighter and darker at certain angles, a little bit lighter at that angle. If I tilt it, it's a little bit more contrasty, a little bit more vibrant at this angle, which is really fascinating in the shell cordovan. And here's a look at the inside of this one with another piece of reverse black shell cordovan. And here's some fun stuff. This is Tumbled color number 8 shell cordovan. The tannery takes the normal dark brown burgundy shade of the color 8 shells, and then they steam heat a drum and tumble it around. So you get this sort of pebbled up look on the shell, which is very unique. Most leathers do not pebble up in the way that the shell pebbles as it's tumbled. And as you look at the inside, we have reverse color number 8 shell cordovan on the inside with some really nice dye splatter. And I have a couple more tumbled shells to look at. This is tumbled color number 4 shell cordovan, which we have not seen very much of. A little bit less dark, a little bit more brown on the tumbled color 4. Very nice sort of textural look on this one, and it's definitely a feel texture. Unlike on the marbled shell cordovan that I'll show you here, you can feel the texture on the tumbled shells, and on the marbled shells it's more of just a visual look. It's very, very flat and smooth on the marbled shell cordovan. And I have one more tumbled color number 4 shell cordovan Johnny the Fox to look at. Some really great tumble pattern on the outside of this wallet, and we have more reverse color 8 on the inside. I have more foxes to look at, but let's switch it up for a second. I've got a really nice looking epic splatter reverse color 8 Tony the Ant here. Really nice piece of reverse shell cordovan, and I was just on a phone with a customer that inspired me to turn on the camera and show you some more wallets. And we were talking about reverse shell cordovan. It does not start off as bright and shiny as a normal piece of shell cordovan. There's a little bit of a sheen to it. The great thing about the reverse shell is how it wears in. It gets really bright and shiny with normal use, and also the color tends to develop much darker. So you can see on the reverse color 8 here with that epic splatter, this will become a little bit more golden brown, much darker than it is now. And on the inside of this Tony the Ant, we have more reverse color 8 shell cordovan with some epic splatter. And I have a couple very nice pieces of cigar shell cordovan to show you. This is our Fat Herbie wallet style. Cigar shell cordovan is more of a true brown shade when you compare it to color 8. The color 8 has like a little bit more cherry sort of burgundy to it, where the cigar shell is more of a straight up brown, and it's very, very beautiful. This wallet has hand-stained cigar edges, which turned out very well as a reverse cigar interior. And here's another one of the cigar shell cordovan Fat Herbies. Also a very nice piece of cigar shell here. As I spin it around, you'll notice that that color will change a very slight amount, a little bit darker at some angles, a little bit lighter at other angles. Here's a look at the hand-stained cigar edges on this one, and we also have that reverse cigar interior. I have a couple more really interesting Fat Herbies to look at. This is an extra thin Fat Herbie, which is ironic. And on the outside here, this is the reverse side of the stone horsehide Latigo, and that is sitting on top of the grain side of the stone horsehide Latigo here. Very interesting textural contrast on the exterior. And then on the inside, we have more stone horsehide Latigo for these card holders, and they have really nice epic texture to it. And those are sitting on top of some cobalt blue Dublin hidden card slots. So if you're not familiar with the hidden card slots on the Fat Herbie, this is not sewn down underneath here, so it's a large compartment underneath, and then we have 2 card holders on the top. Another Fat Herbie made in some extra thin leather. This is another piece of stone horsehide Latigo. Let me try to give you a look at the thickness here. Very much a thin wallet which I prefer. I like a little bit of a thinner wallet, and the texture and grain character of the horse hides are very unique. Much more intense grain character on horse hides, especially on a leather like Horween's Latigo. Here's a look at the inside. We have more stone horsehide Latigo. Here's the first of its kind Apple watch band. And I love how this one turned out. This is 2 layers of natural shell cordovan. So you can see natural shell on the outside, and then we've stitched natural shell on the inside of the strap. This is the side that will touch your wrist. And inside of here, we've got a little bit of padding. So this is a padded 2-layer strap. It's also been hand stitched. So we got a lot going on for this strap. It turned out very nicely. We also have black hardware for this Apple Watch band. All right, back to the Johnny the Fox's incredible pieces of leather here. This is marbled color number 8 shell cordovan. Sort of looks like a sunset of color. Very, very interesting look from that sort of burgundy oxblood shade that ranges down to a little bit more of the orangey tan, and all of the color in between. It's very, very nice piece of marbled shell. If you look at the inside, we have reversed color 8 on the interior and psychedelic shell cordovan. I believe this is the psychedelic cigar shell cordovan, much more of that brown tonal range, but you can see the color does range a little bit over here. We've got some more of those greenish colors, and then there's like little bits of magenta, sort of purpley pink looks, and those are all interspersed and sort of randomized on this piece of shell. It's a very cool look. Here's a look at the interior of this one. We have some epic splatter on reverse color 8 shell cordovan, and another psychedelic piece of shell cordovan here. It's very different than the last one we looked at. A little bit lighter on this piece. So on the exterior of this one, you can see a little bit more of like an orangey tan through most of it. On the bottom right, there's this really interesting drip mark. And then on the exterior left, a little bit browner, a little bit darker right there. And here's a look at the interior with another piece of reverse color 8 shell cordovan. One more piece of psychedelic shell cordovan. Check this one out. Really love the fade that is going on here, where we have these more pinkish magenta tones on the top, those little bits of what I call the psychedelic look, these little circular looks in the dye finish. And then the bottom, more of that orangey tan shade, and it sort of fades upwards, which is a very beautiful piece of leather here. Here's a look at the interior. We have some epic dye splatter on reverse color 8, and 2 more wallets to look at. This, I believe, is the first of its kind. This is marbled Amaretto shell cordovan, which I don't think I've seen before. Usually the lighter colors don't really marble very well. So this is possible that this was a different color of leather on top and they scraped away. So we have this linear look down the exterior of the wallet, a little bit darker throughout the center, a little bit more brown, but the rest of this leather looks like Amaretto shell cordovan, and that's what we have on the inside also. 100% Amaretto shell cordovan on the interior. These are very, very tough to get, and I absolutely love seeing the interior of the Johnny the Fox made my favorite shell cordovan color, that Amaretto shell cordovan. And the last wallet of the day, we've got another piece of epic natural shell cordovan on the Johnny the Fox. Take a look at that really cool texture on this leather. And again, it's not a feel texture. This is a very flat and smooth and even piece of leather. If you look at the shine there, you can just see how smooth and glassy it is. This is more of a visual texture that I find very compelling. Really nice look on this epic natural shell cordovan. And on the interior of this guy, we've got another piece of reverse color 8. I love reverse shell cordovan for the interiors of wallets. I find it to be much more easily filled in and polished in, when this will inevitably get scuffed and scratched as you wear it. So a bunch of great stuff going up, and then we've got more things coming up later this week and maybe even next week before the holidays, trying to do some special wallets, unique leathers, and just unique treasures to show you, hopefully just in time for the holidays here. And then we've got some holiday ideas in mind, so stick around. If you're not on the newsletter, definitely want to be signed up there. Until next time, I hope you guys have a good one.